Well, the iPhone 13 series is now official and we have some decisions to make. When Apple released the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro last year, it kind of felt weird to buy the 12 Pro over the regular 12. It's just that the 12 Pro was that awkward middle child. It didn't have as good a camera as the 12 Pro Max, and it had the very same internals as the regular 12. Sure, it had a telephoto camera if you care about that, but it hardly excused a $200 uptick. This year, Apple course-corrected. The iPhone 13 Pro has the very same camera system as the 13 Pro Max. It has the new 120Hz ProMotion display, yes, and it still is shiny stainless steel, so it kinda looks like the pompous kid on the playground. So which one should you buy, the iPhone 13 or 13 Pro? Are there any meaningful differences? Yeah, there are. When we start with the looks, the iPhone 13 still has that playful appearance with the bright colors. This year we have pink, red, blue, silver and black. The Pro series have always had the more muted and boring look to them, so this year it's kind of a surprise that the special color is actually popping. That is the new Sierra Blue, which stands beside the more traditional choices of graphite, gold and silver. Okay, but it's not just colors. The iPhone 13 Pro is noticeably heavier than the iPhone 13 at 204 grams versus 174 grams. And it also kinda looks heavy. The camera module is big and bold, so even in their design and appearance, these phones are trying to make a statement. Then, moving on to the screens, we have the next big difference. Now, in size they are the same, they're 6.1 inches, just like last year, and they are OLED panels again. But the iPhone 13 Pro finally gets promotion. Promotion. In any case, it just means that the iPhone 13 Pro now gets a 120Hz refresh rate screen. This is something that we've had on the iPad Pros for years now, and it's glorious. You know it, you've seen it, Android users have been mocking you for years now for not having a high refresh rate screen on your iPhone. Is it a big deal? Yeah, I'd say that once you've used it, it's a big deal. The phone feels flashier, snappier, more responsive, more fluid to look at. You can definitely live without it, but once you've gotten used to a 120Hz screen, it's kind of jarring to get back to 60Hz. The other big differences are in the camera department. Now, it's worth to note that thus far, every year, the regular model has had the same main camera as the Pro model. Then the Pro models just added extra bells and whistles to the secondary cameras, like a telephoto camera or more modes in the software or something like that. This year, that changes a bit. So, the main cameras of the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro are the same 12 megapixel camera, right? No. Well, yes. I mean, yeah, they are 12 megapixels, but it's different sensors. See, the iPhone 13 has 1.7 micron pixels on its sensor, while the iPhone 13 Pro has the bigger sensor with bigger pixels at 1.9 microns. To put it all neatly in one small package, bigger sensor, bigger pixels means it collects more light as you take a snap, which means less noise, less blur and brighter photos, which is a win for the iPhone 13 Pro. Then the iPhone 13 Pro also has a slightly bigger lens aperture at f1.5 compared to the f1.6 on the iPhone 13. Now, to be fair, these are small differences. If you have your heart set on getting the iPhone 13, you won't be losing out that much when it comes to the main camera, but if you take the Pro, you have a bit of an edge over the regular 13. The main cameras of the whole iPhone 13 range have the new optical image stabilization, which Apple calls sensor shift. So instead of moving the lens around like before, now the sensor moves around. We've had this in the iPhone 12 Pro Max up until now, but this year it's on all of the iPhone 13s. Moving on to the ultra-wide camera, the iPhone 13 Pro shines again. It has a much wider lens aperture, f1.8 on its ultra-wide camera, compared to f2.4 on the regular iPhone 13, which is the same on the iPhone 12, I think even on the 11. Also, the ultra-wide camera on the 13 Pro can now take macro shots. Apple said that it can focus at as low as 2 centimeters distance, so macro, yay, hooray, you have it, okay. Then the iPhone 13 Pro gets, of course, the third camera. We all know it is the telephoto lens. This year it's a 3 times optical zoom, which is more than last year's 2.5 times on the Pro Max, so it's nice to see. A telephoto lens is always great for portraits, whether you actually use the portrait mode or not. Now, a 3 times zoom on an iPhone translates to the equivalent of a 78mm lens, which is a pretty good choice for portraits. It's not too close up, it's kinda gives you some breathing room to work with, and it's gonna be great. It's also worth noting that the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max are the only ones that are gonna get the night portrait mode. Of course, Apple wants to push as much value into that telephoto camera as it wants. It looked nice in the demos. Of course, we're gonna test it when we get our units, and we'll see how that works. On the front, it seems all of the iPhone 13 units have the same 12-megapixel selfie camera, same as last year. Glossing over it, just nothing new. It's not bad, it's okay, right? It's a great selfie camera. On we go. If you open them up, you'll see the same internals in both the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro. The Apple A15 chip powers both of these phones, and it's also nice to see that the iPhone 13 base model now starts at 128 gigs of storage. It's kind of a value offer right now if you look at it through the distorted perception of this weird Apple reality. Let's talk about battery life for a little bit. Now, with the new Promotion display on the iPhone 13 Pro, I kinda thought that it's gonna be a real battery hog. However, according to Apple's official numbers, the 13 Pro actually outlasts the regular iPhone 13. It gets 3 more hours of video playback, which is interesting. Of course, we will absolutely run both of these phones through our demanding battery tests once we get them, but for now it seems like you won't be losing out on battery life with the 13 Pro. In fact, it might be even a slightly better performer than the iPhone 13. Anyway, which one of these should you buy? I have to say the 13 Pro really takes it here. This year it deserves its $200 extra. We have the slightly better main camera, we have the improved telephoto camera, we have the Promotion display. Finally! I do have to say I kind of like the light-hearted design of the regular iPhone 13 more. So if you're the kind of person who goes, I don't care about 120Hz screens if my phone is going to look like a platinum brick, I totally get you. But in general, I feel like spending a bit extra to get the 13 Pro this year is worth it. Now, if you're coming from an iPhone 11 or even iPhone 12, don't feel pressured to upgrade to an iPhone 13 because it's not that much of an improvement, whereas the Pro, this model, is pretty good. Anyway, we will be reviewing those iPhone 13s when they come. We'll also be reviewing the new Pixels, and what else is left in 2021? Well, whatever comes, we'll get it. So hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye!